My friends, let not people dissuade you from believing that you can have a direct relationship with the Spirit of God. You see, that's what you need, is a direct relationship with the Spirit of God. You don't need anything. You see, you don't need anything. You need your own heart and to open your heart to the Spirit of God. That's what you need. It's very simple. You see, following Jesus Christ is a very simple thing. It's hard because we have allowed the world inside our hearts, and the voice of the world and all the knowledge from the various outlets that make us feel good, that exalt us, that exalt life in this world, that exalt the kingdoms of this world, the nations of the world, and we end up becoming a part of these things. You see, my friends, however, Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom was of this world, you see, then it would be a different story. You see, he didn't come to have a physical kingdom. You see, and us who are like him, we end up, our eyes and ears and hearts are in heaven, are above. They are not from below. They are not from this world. See, so when your ambitions and your pursuits and desires and dreams are all about this world, you see, then you don't have much of a part of the world to come, or the kingdom of heaven. You see, and this is the danger, because people are teaching you to have a relationship with the world, and this is where the devourer comes in. He fills you with life and life in this world, and the cares and riches, deceitfulness of riches, money, and all these other distractions, and puts you in a life of complexity, you see, where you're running from here to there, to here to there, getting tired. You see, and that's why it would be wise that you realize you need time for Jesus. So you live a simple life and not get caught up in all the desires and pursuits of everybody else. Someone says, well, you need to have a better job. Well, that's not necessarily true. You see, because a better job may mean that you have more time, you have to spend more time doing irrelevant things anyway. You see? So they will say, well, you're making more money. Well, it's not, life is not about money. You see, life is not about the pursuit of things. Life is not about exalting the methods of the world. You see, my friends. So you've got to understand that a lot of the time you end up saying, no, I don't need that job, or I don't need this, or I don't need that, I don't need to know that, or because you're living simple. See, Jesus himself said, look at the lilies in the valley, they sow not, neither do they reap, but their Father which is in heaven taketh care of them. Are you not, why do we think about the things that the world thinks about? Life is more than the pursuits of the world, you see, and raiment and clothing and houses. See, but this is what the world desires. Everything that they say and do, their process towards self-realization or awakening or enlightenment is all geared around the flesh. You see, first they need food, they need clothing, they need shelter, and then that's how you get that carnal wisdom, because you have all those things. But the wisdom of God is gotten the other way around. You see, you lose everything. I mean, you don't have food, you don't have clothing, sometimes you don't have shelter. You're called into the wilderness, you see, so that you can eat of food that man cannot provide, you see. But instead, what happens is people go and then they end up becoming like the Israelites, and they want Egypt lives big, the world lives big in their hearts, so they begin to bring their abominations into the place where they're supposed to be receiving from God, you see. So this is what it is, my friends. We've got to make Jesus number one in our lives, and that's not easy. There's so many things that my job, I'm sick, I've got this, I need to take this medication. So you're living in a dilemma. If God says he heals and I'm taking this medication, is my faith in the doctors then? You see, but the thing is that, my friends, you take all these things to Jesus Christ from a true heart. You see what I'm saying? When you're going to go through something or you're going through something, you take it to Jesus. You see? And that's the most important thing, is that you submit all these things to Jesus Christ. And then when it happens, you have already submitted it to Him. You see? The way it's supposed to happen is the way it's going to happen. You see? If God doesn't want something to happen, He'll either let you know or it won't work out. You see? And that's what it is. And so this is how we maintain obedience. If you pray in the morning and you say, Lord, let your will be done, and you commit yourself into Jesus' hands, and, your car, something happens, then you know that, hey, I prayed in the morning. Don't forget your prayer. You see? And then start trying to operate. Maybe there's something you're being saved from. You never know. Down the road somewhere. So, you see, we don't see all things. We don't know all things, but we end up not making Jesus number one in everything. We put the things of the world. You get drowned by your job. You get drowned by the other pursuits. I'm building this. I'm making that. I'm getting money. I'm getting knowledge, carnal knowledge, getting carnal wisdom. And then we've got all these people that are preaching all these things. You need this, you need that. Most of them Christians. You see, telling you need to know this, you need to know that. You need to study about this, and you need to know this, and Hebrew, and, the different dialects, and, all these other things. And this is all irrelevant, you see. What you need to know is the Spirit of God and have a strong relationship with Him. You see, because I've been in many situations, my friends, where it's not about what I knew in my mind or my capabilities. Many times, it had nothing to do with me. You see, it just came to my relationship with Jesus Christ. That's it. You see, if something happens and God wants me to know how to fly a plane tomorrow, I don't know how to fly a plane. But by His strength, if He wants me to fly a plane, I'm going to fly a plane. Many people bring these hypotheticals to you. What about if this happens? What would you do? You need to prepare yourself for this. My friends, the preparation is spiritual. It's not carnal. Now, if you're spending time with Jesus and He tells you need to do this, then you've got to do that. You see what I'm saying? So people think that they can do it apart from God. They're going to go and figure things out by themselves. And go and study things, and then go and build a bunker somewhere, or build something underground, build some device. You see, and all this stuff, the most important thing is to spend time in prayer and to spend time seeking Jesus. You see, because if you're doing what the world is doing and the way the world is doing them, then there's something wrong. Because when you're doing things that are for the kingdom of God, it's going to be foolishness to the world that lives inside people's hearts. You see? And likewise, what they're doing is going to be foolishness to you. You see? Because you don't exalt the things that they exalt. They exalt physical weapons and physical body and fighting physically and carnal knowledge and carnal wisdom and temporary ephemeral things. You're not exalting those things. You see? You're exalting the Spirit of God and the fruits of the Spirit and the attributes of the Spirit of God and the things that please God, keeping His commandments. If everybody is lying and going somewhere, it's better that you tell the truth and get fired. You see? That's why you can't do many things in the world today. You see, because you tell the truth and then nobody wants to be around that. You see? You tell them, many times I worked for an insurance company and we used to lie to people all the time. And then it's like, you're just doing your job kind of stuff. But I'm just doing my job. But if my job is telling me to break the commandments of Jesus, then I can't do it. I have to find another way then. Either, you tell them, hey, this is a lie, and then people don't like it, and, you have to leave your job. So you have to end up leaving your job. You see, you have to end up doing all these making all these sacrifices. Not because, you're some great person, no. But it's simply because you can't be like everybody else. You see, you can't follow and have the treasures that everybody else, they treasure in all these other things, physical, carnal things. You can't do that. You treasure the things that are heavenly, holy, and undefiled. You see, and eternal. Spirit. God is spirit. Flesh and blood will not inherit spiritual things. Carnality will not perceive the spiritual. You see? It won't. And that's why when you try and figure out God using carnal methods, you're on a vain path. In fact, you're on a path of destruction. You see? You've got to humble yourself and know nothing. Come as a child. It's very simple, my friends. We come as children before Jesus. We are like empty canvases. We present empty pages, and then He writes inside us. You see, we don't claim to know this and know that because we know nothing. But the world tells you you are this and you are that and you will do this and you will do that, you see. And most Christians are doing the same things. Go study your way here, build this, do that, become a scientist, lawyer. All these things, it's all vain. You need to know one thing, and that's Jesus Christ, my friends. That's it. It's very simple.